Welcome to Soveryn Podcast, the voice of independent Luxembourg.
This morning we sit down with Maurice Bauer, Alderman of the City of Luxembourg, to discuss the city's strategy to promote commercial diversity in the nation's capital. On that docket, we address the success of the Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce campaign and why it inspired the city's participation in this year's LongLiveTheSummer event at Lux Expo in September. Mr. Bauer, welcome and thank you for being with us.
Hello.
So firstly, for those who are not familiar with it, what was the main objective behind launching the Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce campaign, and what factors led to its adoption at the LongLiveTheSummer event this year?
I think the Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce is a whole concept which englobes all the works which we have done as City of Luxembourg in order to encourage young entrepreneurs, young people to dare proposing their job, their new activities. And I think that's something which is very important for the City of Luxembourg. We have a very dedicated and engaged department of our Développement économique et commercial who are trying to encourage people to incite people to go this step. And I think that's from that point of view, it's really interesting because Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce says clearly that we have a city center, a heart of the city, but we have also 24 districts of the city. And we try throughout this concept to help all the businesses, whether it's in the heart of the city, or whether somebody wants to establish in one of our 24 districts. So from that point of view, I think it's really something where we try to give a concept and an idea to people that, depending on their aim and their challenge, we are there to help them. We are there to encourage them. We are there to give them the necessary help where we can, as a City of Luxembourg, give them some support.
And so then Mon Quartier Commerce, it becomes almost a platform to join with another platform to get these people some visibility to get started.
Yeah, and then LongLiveTheSummer is of course something where you meet professionals, where you meet customers, where you meet clients, where you can within 3 days meet all the whole space of activity of a young entrepreneur. And I think from that point of view, it's a very nice experience also for them.
What exactly then did Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce provide for the participants this year at the event LongLiveTheSummer? What is the exchange?
I think for us it's important to be present at the LongLiveTheSummer because it gives us the opportunity to meet with a lot of people, to continue our work of convincing young people to do the step, giving the opportunity to young customers, young entrepreneurs to meet with customers, with a lot of different people. Therefore, I think it's for us very important from our point of view of our concept of Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce, that we are present in that place where all the professionals are there, where clients are present, and where people can, during 3 days, try out yet another opportunity to establish or not their business. It gives also some footfall traffic, of course, for our young entrepreneurs. With more than 9,000 people having visited last year, which I think was a real success, it's definitely a nice experience for all these people. It gives a lot of visibility.
Absolutely.
During one weekend, you will meet so many people. You can exchange experiences with other people who are in a similar situation or more experienced people. So from that point of view, I think it's for all these people who are interested to launch a business, to launch a shop or something. It's an interesting opportunity to be present, and it fits completely in our strategy to complete our concept of Mon Quartier, Mon Commerce.
Fantastic. Let's take a specific example. Speaking of these small businesses, the youth, let's take the example that won last year was Charlie's Gare, a young pop-up called Satori. How did this successful pop-up store inspire you to replicate that model this year at the LongLiveTheSummer event?
It was for us an interesting opportunity. Imagine you have a location which is abandoned for some time. It's outside of the heart of the city, where so it's not that much footfall traffic coming along. And however, these young people have taken up this challenge, and they were very successful. It's a large success today, and we are very happy as city for the animation which we get into this part of the city. And therefore, I think it's for us also the sign of this development of entrepreneurship, of people who are daring to go a special way without having a guarantee that this will be successful, but they believe in their idea. They believe in their success, and they have some ideas behind it that they had, and I think that's very nice.
Yeah, and in many ways, I think the most important is to try when you're young, and as has been previously mentioned, some will succeed, and for those who don't succeed, not every startup works, they will have learned something very important.
Absolutely. I think that's lessons learned is in this field very important.
Yeah.
And that's why we as a City of Luxembourg, we are so much encouraging all the pop-up stores which we can put in place, but also events like LongLiveTheSummer, because this gives an opportunity to know the reality, to see behind the scene, to try out. And I think all these experience will give a help to these young entrepreneurs to continue or eventually to change also their mind. And therefore, I think it's really also a question of mindset. It's a question of openness, and you have also to seize the opportunities that digitalization gives you, or everything which, and nothing, there is no one fits it all solution.
Sure.
Everybody has to find its way, and that's what we want to encourage as City of Luxembourg, together with our partners. I think organizing the LongLiveTheSummer, that's also one of the ideas behind. There is no one fits all solution, but I think everybody should find its own way.
Very good. Let's take that as our segue to just to review a little bit about your institutional participation. Alongside Luxexpo and of course the Chamber of Commerce, can you talk a little bit about your specific role as an institution? Maybe in particular, we've addressed a lot of this, but do you feel that there's in particular an alignment between all three of the co-producing parties in this event?
I think we have all three the same objective.
Yeah.
Helping, encouraging young people to go new waves, to try out things, to take their courage and to launch themselves. And it's interesting because here, together with Chambre de Commerce and Luxexpo, we can bring all these people together.
Yeah.
In the City of Luxembourg, we are an open space where everybody is welcomed, but if you want to meet people, you have to go to visit somebody. This can take some distance. Here we bring together all the people, and I think Chambre de Commerce has an enormous experience in doing business. They can give so many advices to young people. Luxexpo has a long-term experience to organizing things and bringing professionals together.
Very good, yeah.
And customers together.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, the City of Luxembourg is perfectly fitting with these two partners in order to organize something like this, because we all three need to work together in order to encourage new businesses, to develop new ideas, and to encourage young people to make what they want to do.
Absolutely, and I have to say that as an immigrant to the country here, it's not lost on me that the city has become more diverse and more interesting all the time. I was just saying to a friend of mine that if you come into the city and walk on La Grande Rue a Saturday morning, it's a beautiful experience. It's very lively.
20 years ago, when you walked in the city between 12 and 2 o'clock, shops were closed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's one of these examples which I like to give in order to show how much we have evolved. And today, with the sustainability aspects, with the digitalization aspects, there are so many opportunities for young people to create something, to make something sustainable. I must say that's fantastic. And if you see this enthusiasm which young people show to try out things, we have the responsibility to encourage this and to accompany all these people in these efforts.
Fantastic. So speaking to that audience, the young people who are interested in building something, from your experience, you've had an illustrious career. Could you tell us about some characteristics you have noticed in people who are successful, or maybe startups themselves?
Your question is very funny, because I observed these last years there are so many people, very young people, who are starting businesses with sneakers. And I must say that's a very nice example, because it shows that these people are determined, they are willing, they are trying out something where there is not that much risk, but at least they have tried out. And I must say this open-mindedness, this willingness to do something on their own, this activism to do something, I must say that's fantastic, and I must say that we have to really try to encourage all these entrepreneurships which are there in a very small way, but if they are encouraged and if they get the right help, the right advice from other people, then they can go. But you have, as an entrepreneur, to be very consistent. You have to be willing to go your way and to have a lot of patience always. But you have to be determined, and I think that helps a lot.
Very good. If we were to wrap things up a little bit, I think our question would be, if you could have a superpower which would, simplify your job or make life a little bit easier for you, what would it be?
Difficult question.
Yeah.
I think if I could be more equal, that would be nice. More equal to everybody.
Okay. Well, that's a very original one, and I enjoy thinking about that. That's a pause for reflection.
It concerns all the different parts of the city, of our life. It's for people who want to establish a business. Some people have a lot of money to do so. Others have to fight every day and it's a real battle. But it's also for the customers. If more customers could come, and there I think we need a higher equality in all parts of our lives that could help people which we are talking here today, but also other people.
Fantastic. So to conclude our discussion, we have to thank Maurice Bauer, Alderman of the City of Luxembourg. Thank you so much for coming down this morning and spending time with us in our modest studio, in our little podcast, and sharing your time, your vision, your experience with us. And we hope we may yet cross paths again and see you again.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of the people here around.
Thank you so much, sir.
Many thanks.